Welcome to the Pixel Retentive Podcast, where we, a business owner and an artist, discuss the business of art and the art of business. Hey friends, I'm Carl, founder of Epic Made.
And I'm Eric from Epic Made, filling in for Ross. We're the host of the Pixel Retentive Podcast, where we share our thoughts on creativity, art, and business.
All right. And we're forever grateful for the supporters of our podcast. And as always, we're looking for more sponsors. That said, Pixel is brought to you by the creative gurus at Epic Made. Epic Made is a team of artists and strategists with a mastery of visual storytelling. Our studio makes unforgettable animation, graphic design, and illustration infused with ideas that put money in your pocket. We best serve marketers and brands seeking to engage nerdy millennials, and some of our favorite clients include Nickelodeon, WWE, and Sci-Fi. Visit getepicmade.com and let's collaborate on your next creative campaign. All right.
With us today, sorry, Carl. So with us today, we have our guest, Chris Swenor.
So Chris Swenor is a seasoned entrepreneur and a blockchain pioneer with a 20-year career that kicked off as a self-taught programmer at age 13. He swiftly moved from corporate roles to startups, leading to several successful acquisitions, including ZMags and VSnap. In 2015, his own service company was acquired. Chris also started venturing into blockchain and cryptocurrency in 2013, founding Reach in 2019, a platform that has attracted over $13 million in funding and onboarded more than 8,000 developers. He is also working on a promising new Layer 1 blockchain with a testnet already active since early 2023 and a mainnet launch planned for 2024. As a global speaker, Chris has shared his blockchain insights through numerous talks, many of which are available on YouTube. His multifaceted career serves as an exemplar of innovation, adaptability, and technological passion. I almost got through that.
That was amazing. And I feel like it sounds way too good for who I am. So thank you for all of that. Appreciate it.
Certainly not too good for who you are. We've spent hours talking at Boston Blockchain where we met a couple months ago. And dude, you're an amazing human being. Glad to have you on the show.
Thank you.
Yeah. So before we jump into today's topic, I want our audience to get to know you a little bit better. So tell us how long you've been in your industry and the project you are most proud of.
Oh man, the most proud of. So I'm in the industries, which is blockchain. I started collecting tokens in 2013. I thought it was really cool and I thought it was a major thing with the Bitcoin, but I really didn't fully really immerse myself into it until 2015. And I had been running companies. I would launch my first company in the crypto space in early 2017. In 2015, we were just building and testing and figuring things out. But I've been in there ever since. I never, you hear a lot of stories like, oh, I got into 2013 and then I bounced back out and then back in. In 2013, I got in and stayed in pretty much. But what am I most proud of? Probably that, honestly. I've done a lot. So there's a lot that I'm proud of, mostly from the teams that did the work. But I think that the thing that I'm most proud of is that I have been in blockchain through the ups and downs for the entire time, which if you are also in the space, you can understand why I'm proud of it, because it's hard. I have all of the scars during all of the winters, and I'm still here, and I don't see myself going anywhere.
Well, thank you for your service to the community, Pred.
Of course.
Yeah, dude, the crypto winters and the bear markets, it shakes out all the weaklings.
That's right. That's right. Or the smart ones. I'm not really sure at this point.
Yeah, right. Yeah, the non-zealots. Maybe that's
right.
That's a better way to
that is
describe
it. Right.
Very cool, man. All right, so I guess on this episode, we're discussing the state of crypto. Eric is also very versed in crypto. I know you are. I'm probably the least knowledgeable of the three of us on this subject matter, but crypto and Web3 pretty much encompasses all of these blockchain technologies, these shared ledger technologies, as well as, including NFTs and that sort of thing. So, yeah, I mean, so the big news past couple days, right? Like stuff's hit the fan. I know you guys we're just chatting about that a little bit in the pre-show, but
yeah. I mean, it's funny though, like how, like, because I've been doing this for so long, I have such thick skin, and it's this big news really doesn't faze me much. Like CZ, when I read this morning that CZ is stepping down the CEO as Binance and pleading guilty for anti-money laundering, I instantly go, I don't have all the information. There's something else going on here. What is the information? And until then, everybody's just speculating. And the main question is this a bull signal or a bear signal? Mm-hmm. Don't even know that. So it's if you want excitement in your career, join blockchain. Like it's constant.
And if by excitement you mean just random volatility that's outside of your control, then
completely,
then we're here for it.
I mean, there's been the whole FTX SBF trial, and then before that, the actual fraud that he pulled. And the crazy thing is that I was at a conference with him, or his conference, like months before that, and it's set so high, and like he had Bill Clinton there, Tom Brady, like it was, and then all of a sudden this, you're like, oh well, that's weird.
Yeah, the social proof was all there, and now he's in prison. So maybe,
that's right.
Maybe that's who knows? Celebrity endorsements.
There have been wild ups and downs, but I mean, BlackRock filed for their spot ETF 5 days ago, right? And people have been really bullish on that. And you see, the prices, Bitcoin prices are going up, and they say people are overbuying on speculating. And when the ETF comes out, they might come down because all of the pent up purchasing is happening right now in anticipation of the ETF launch, right? So there's all sorts of positive and negative news going on, and like you said, you just got to take it all with a grain of salt.
Do you know my secret? My secret is I don't care about price. I've never cared about price, and my portfolios would show that. Like I just buy things and I hold them. I don't trade them. I don't anything of that sort. And because I didn't get into this because of price, I didn't really like. I didn't. The money thing is I don't care about. It's much more about the promise of blockchain and how I believe it's going to actually truly change the world. And that's honestly why I'm still here. Because in the ups and downs and all of the craziness that's going outside of what I'm focusing on, it doesn't really change what the promise was originally. So, that's the secret. So if you want to stay in blockchain and you don't want to leave, actually give a shit about blockchain. Like that's the secret.
Yeah. What it can do to transform our society and the way we see money and the way money transaction happens and transparency on money. And,
it's beyond money though. So it's value, and anything that has value. There's a research paper out there that I tell everybody to read. So all of your listeners, if you care about why the zealots like myself, not the zealots that are all, money and number go up, but if the ones that care about the tech, you should read this. It's called Some Simple Economics of Blockchain. It's by Christian Catalini and Joshua Gans. And it's a research paper that's not about the tech, actually. It's a research paper about what the value of blockchain is. And I'm going to summarize it really quick, but please read it. It lowers the cost of verification. So blockchain really excels at any type of industry out there that lowers the cost of verification. It's a great filter to use when you look at all of these, hype beasts out there. It's like, okay, so you're going to apply blockchain to this. Okay, how does your application lower the cost of verification, and does that industry have a high cost of verification in the first place? And if it doesn't pass that filter, it's most likely a Ponzi scheme or something like this, just trying to build out a hype or just the excitement of blockchain.
Trying to make that side money, huh? That easy money.
Right.
Yeah. So what was that called? You said Some Simple Economics of Blockchain?
That's right.
By who?
By Christian Catalini and Joshua Gans.
Okay, I'm going to check that out, man. I love it. Yeah, I just love the idea of the value that anything of value can be tracked in blockchain, right? Like the idea of like being able to NFT things and whatever the next version, the next big use case of NFTs are. So I totally hear you when you're talking about, you know, just it's more than just money. That does make sense.
It's funny that's so you brought up NFTs, and NFTs are such a bad word. I don't know if your audience is all for it or against it, or you said that they're nerdy millennials, which by the way, I'm a nerdy millennial. I'm at the very oldest millennial that
geriatric millennial.
I am a geriatric millennial, but a lot of the millennials, when they hear NFT, they instantly think scam. They think like, you know, monkey picture or what have you. And let me tell you, so listeners, the ones that you hate NFTs, it's not about the picture. It's never been about the actual picture. And why are NFT? Why do people buy NFTs? Well, it's about ownership. It's about actually owning something. And because the images, the things that you're right-click saving is what, you know, I hear that's like, oh, why would you buy that? I can right-click save it and it's mine. Well, no, it's not yours, because the image itself is not the thing that is on blockchain. What is on blockchain is a immutable record of ownership. Now, it's a immutable record of ownership that's pointing to something. It just so happens that NFTs, for the most part, is that something that is being pointed to is an image. But that's not everything that can be owned. People can own houses or cars or anything. And being able to have a single source of truth that of ownership of anything, or have that primitive, it becomes very, very powerful, especially when you can actually make that ownership programmable. What I mean by that is that not only is it a immutable record of ownership, but you can now program in exactly what has to happen every time it changes ownership. So say you do something like, oh, I want to force royalty every time it's changed. But doing that in the real world without a single source like this, where it is a programmable, you can't force royalties being paid. If I sell you my Fashion Nugget cake CD that I got when I was younger, nobody will force me to pay royalty on that. They can't. Right. So what they had to do is they had to charge me $20 for that CD and just waive off all potential earnings. But what if now that you can actually force royalty every single time ownership changes? Now I don't need to sell it to you for $20 anymore, because now I have a lifetime potential earnings for that. I can sell it to you for $5, but now I know I'll be able to take a percentage of royalties every single time you sell it from here on out. Or just things like this is like there's several things that you can do: whitelist, blacklist, who can own this, all of these things of like can be programmed directly into the ownership that could never previously done. Because if you go back to what I said earlier, that's that research paper, the cost of verification was too high. So by lowering the cost of verification, you can start creating entire new industries or entire new possibilities that never were able to exist before. And this has nothing to do with monkey pictures.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's interesting when you try to talk. I try to talk to people that aren't in the crypto space that really they don't get it. But you got to break it down almost for. I use the trading card analogy a lot. It's like, hey, look, if I had a Michael Jordan rookie card, right? That's a legit minted from the original like printer that made this run of cards. That's worth a lot of money. If I have a printer in my garage and I printed this pristine, perfect, unique copy that I made, it's not worth anything because it's just a replica. It's just a copy. There's no proof of like actual ownership in that. That's not
you lose provenance.
Yep. That is the thing. So
I think that's why there's such a big. I think that's where there's such a big uptake of NFTs in the luxury goods market, right? For ownership and verification, right? So you got art, you've got watches, cars, service records of cars. Every time your Tesla goes to the dealership, they're writing another line of metadata: what happened, when it happened, what it was, how much it cost, right? So there's so many potentials beyond, like the physical and digital bridge is what I love. Like you have an NFT on your phone, you have near field reader, you can use it to open doors. It can be keys, it can be for offices, it can be for anything, right? So concert tickets, whatever. So it's I think the use case right now is super limited. It's about a mainstream adoption and going beyond the niche market right now. Right?
I agree. I love talking about purses. It's one of those, I mean, I don't love talking about purses. I love talking about purses when it pertains to this topic. Because, you know, like a Gucci purse, is a Gucci purse really worth $1,000? Is the actual material and everything of that purse? No, it's not. You could take an exact replica of it, and be down to the T perfect thing, and it not being Gucci makes it decreases the value. So why are people buying Gucci purses? Well, they're buying a Gucci purse because it makes them part of a club. It means that it's a status symbol. Now, now we can start talking about like why are people, the next argument, what I was talking about earlier, is like, well, then if the NFTs are just about ownership, why are people buying these monkey pictures? It's status. Being able to say, I own this monkey picture, or I own this, it allows you to be as part of a club. I am like these people that also purchased this thing. And I don't get it. I didn't buy any monkey pictures, but some people really, I also didn't buy a Gucci purse. But some people buy Gucci purses, and some people don't understand why they buy Gucci purses, but we don't ridicule them for doing so.
Did you see the collab with Gucci and Roblox where they sold an NFT that had a digital asset that you could bring into Roblox as a Gucci bag, and it also came with the real life version of that Gucci bag. It was fine.
Amazing.
I love it. Yeah,
I love it.
I love it too. I
wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it ever.
Never.
I mean, Nike's doing the same thing with sneaker releases right now for all the sneakerheads out there, right? It's the same concept.
Let's lean in. Let's lean in.
The collectible brands that understand that it's literally about limited edition, limited release, and it's a status symbol, and it's a statement in itself. Understand that our lives are becoming more and more digital, right? Like all of us that have kids that are, 10, 12, 15 years old, they have digital lives that are as important to them in many cases as their physical real life, where they care about how they look and what skins they have and what avatars they have and what assets. And those all say things about them as a form of expression, just like my hat and your hat and Eric's shirt and all the different things. It's part of their life, right? So this is becoming a part of our culture, and they're going to mass adopt it if we don't get there in time. Like it'll happen at some point for sure. So
are people still buying houses? Like the millennials, are they buying houses, or are they just still renting?
They can't afford houses.
They can't afford it.
Yeah.
Well,
they're
for you rich millennials out there. Yeah. Well, you rich millennials out there, when you decide to buy a house, one of the things that you'll do that'll make you mad over the first time you buy a house is pay a thing called title insurance.
Oh my God. I know.
What title insurance is just an insurance of just in case the records are not accurate, you don't lose your house. Like that alone is a great example of why, immutable single source of truth is important, because that insurance is because of the cost of verification. There's a company out there that knows that the records are so poor that there's a chance that you're buying a house from somebody that doesn't own it, even though the records say it. And if somebody later comes and says, actually, I own the house, they didn't, you could lose your house because of that. So if you're a hater of NFTs and you're going to go buy that house and then you pay that title insurance, think, wait a second, maybe NFTs aren't that bad.
I love it. I love this idea too, that this misnomer about, we buy monkey pictures, right? Like it's so deeply stupid. First of all, we're conflating apes with monkeys, which are not even the same animal, let alone like, so it's not only like just, it's stupid on so many levels, all the way down into the way that people talk about it. Monkey pictures, like, no, these are actually apes.
They're apes. Yeah. Actually, they're apes, sir.
So the husband of a biologist in me needed to point that out as well. So
nice. So there's a joke that I'm going to butcher. You want me to come into the joke that I think really applies this? Okay. All right. So there's a border crossing, and every day there's a guy that comes up to the border crossing in a truck, and the border officer greets him, and every day for 40 years, this border crossing guard, he's like, there's something here. Like, I know this guy's smuggling. He comes across. I thoroughly check his truck. I look at everything. Can't find anything. Like, why? What is he? And he asks you, like, what are you smuggling? He's like, well, if you can't find it, I'm not going to tell you. Every day, boom, 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 for 40 years. One day, this guy, the smuggler comes up and says, Today's my last day. I am no longer, you're never longer going to see me again. I am officially going to retire. And the border crossing guard says, okay, so I know you are a smuggler. I promise you, if you tell me what you are smuggling, I won't throw you in jail. What is it? He's like, I've searched your truck. You always have a new truck every day, and I search it and I can't find anything, but I know you're smuggling. And the guy's like, okay, if you promise that not to actually to arrest me, I'll tell you. And the guy goes, all of these years I was smuggling trucks. So the reason why I tell this joke is that it's not, number one, a good joke, and I probably didn't tell it right. But the reason why I tell this joke is that is what the monkey pictures are. The monkey pictures are we're smuggling. Everybody's looking at the monkey. You're like, why this monkey? Why this monkey? And when in reality, we're building a primitive for the future of ownership. And it just so happens it's being pointed at a monkey right now, or an ape. Sorry.
Yeah.
So that's like the joke I like to say is like we're using this amazing technology, this amazing primitive for something that might not be the most exciting thing right now, but we are learning, we're building infrastructure, and you just wait.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, it's like you said, it has nothing to do with the image, although the image is really powerful, right? The images are cool, the collectability on them, and but the depth of what's going on when you own one of these Bored Apes, right? You get invited to a club, the yacht club, right? And they have legit real life parties with celebrities and things that you can only get if you're there. And right, you get intellectual property rights to tell stories, and there's community building that I've never seen with any other piece of technology, connecting people from all over the world. It's quite amazingly powerful stuff. These are just the images that represent all of that behind it, and we all know that, right? And it's
cool art has always existed.
Oh, totally.
Like, but this hasn't always existed, so that has to be something, right?
There's something there. I mean, we just launched a collection with the guys over at Paragon, and it's at findtheparagon.com. Shameless plug on my own podcast. But
what are you doing?
Dude, we launched it last week, right? It sold out in 2 hours, right? In the whitelist, in the pre-public sale, right? I'm getting all my words jumbled here, but anyways, before it went public, sold out 9,600 assets, and then within 2 hours of it going public, we had over 100 ETH in traded volume, and they're pre-revealed NFTs. We haven't even revealed them yet, right? So we're going to reveal them next week, and then the trading is going to go nuts. But that is really working because people love the art, but they also see all the utility for the platform that they're building. So if you don't have a beautiful piece of art to collect, they're not going to be as excited about the utility, and vice versa, right? Like, it's a system that works together. It means something, right? Like, when Bored Apes launched, it was fun and all that, and there wasn't all of that utility behind it. People were just excited about collecting these things, just like we all used to collect X-Men cards and baseball cards, right?
I have so many X-Men cards.
Dude, me too.
I've
got the whole 95 set, 96. I've got partial on 94 and 93 and 92. So like I got them stacked.
I might have to rival you here because I collected when I was a kid, but then I also collected from eBay from when I was adult. So every card I didn't have, I went and bought. So I think I have every set ever created.
Oh my God. You know what's depressing to me? They're not worth that much. Like, I went back and looked, I was like,
that's why I did it
for $100. I'm like, what? I spent like
it was
my parents' money on this. Look.
That's right. It was actually like because I did this in like their early 2000s is when I was like, oh, I'm going to buy, like, I used to collect these, and they were even cheaper back then. So that's why I have every single set. It's great.
Okay. I love that, man. Oh, now I'm jealous. Next time I'm in Boston, you got to show me, man. We'll take little pictures. So my first sketch pad is all me drawing these cards on a big piece of notebook, lined notebook paper with Crayola colored pencils, like
beautiful.
And that's like what got me into this stuff.
Hey, take a picture, then tweet it. I want to see it next time you see it. I want to see it.
I have it over there. Like, it's literally back there. I could go grab it right now.
Well, I believe you.
I might just do that actually if I get it.
I expect it. I want to see.
Now I'm doing it.
All right. Let's see it.
A good thing I put on real pants today. So.
Oh, that's true.
So when did this start? The early X-Men, like in early 90s?
This is awesome. All right.
Let's see this.
Let's see. There's Ghost Rider. You remember that card?
Oh yeah.
Let's see. I got a couple more in there. I was so excited about how those flames turned out. Anyways.
Wait, how old were you when you did this?
Oh my God. So let's see. I got a date on some of these. 95, I was 10. Right. So I got into like Sub-Zero. So this was from like my Prima strategy guide, like
Oh yeah.
Scorpion.
Oh, beautiful.
Nailed it. I drew a copy of one of these for like some girl I was interested back in the day.
Well, did it work?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, that's
pretty sure she's not into dudes these days either. So, I was just barking up the whole wrong tree. No chance. Ooh, Dark Hawk. That was cool.
Oh, I remember that one. That was a good card.
Yeah, it was a good one for sure. Anyways, that was a fun little trip. So I will take pictures of your cards. We'll do that next time I'm in Boston. I'm going to be up there again soon. So
sounds good.
Cool. So what else is cool in crypto? You guys see anything that's like coming out that's like really innovative or exciting or, different? Terrible? I don't know. Anything.
I would say that's like, I'm trying not to show. So like, the issue is like my nose has been down to the grindstone for this, for so long. I'm going to talk about something that really like pisses me off.
Okay.
If that sound good, let's talk about that. So I've been in crypto for a long time. As we talked about, so obvious, I don't need to let everybody know unless you jumped. Anyway, the issue is that I look at all of the existing L1s, and when a lot of your listeners heard me say like, oh, I'm working at L1, they're like, why another one? That's silly. And the reason for that is that I am not happy with the current state of economics of blockchains. What I mean by that is that every blockchain that I know of is the large majority of the tokens out there are owned by 1% of the wallets. This includes the Ethereums, the Bitcoins, everything. And like when I got into blockchain, I got into this because I wanted a better economic system. I wanted a better, diversification, like decentralization, all those things. And it really upset me that we got ourselves into a situation where 90% of the tokens in the world are owned by 1% of the wallets. And that pisses me off. I was like this feels worse than the current economic situation of the world. What the hell are we doing?
It mirrors the exact economic situation of the world, right? It's exactly what's going on in the traditional economy.
But it's even worse. Like it's there's so few haves and so many have-nots. And the issue here is that I'm the type of guy that if I'm upset about something, if I don't think it's right, I will first give suggestions. I would advise to see if I can fix the current situation. And I did that over the last between 2020 and 2022. But I found nobody was listening to me. And so I answered the question of like, okay, well, what am I going to do? I guess we have to start our own. But let's start a new L1 with the mindset of let's actually do this with a way of saying that this is the people's chain. This is the chain that's owned by the people that are actually adding value to the chain, not the early investors, not the people that are like, when token go up, but not those people, but the people that believe in blockchain, that actually are adding to the overall network. They should be the ones that are owning it. So that's why I decided to start Voy, to actually see if we could do this from scratch, where it's like, okay, well, let's build a network, a guerrilla style. So like, you mentioned, I don't know if you mentioned where you could find information about Voy, but by design, we're keeping it low key. We're not making it so that the hypesters can find it and yell about it. It's one of those things where the entire community is built up of people that heard about it from somebody else that cares. And now we have an entire community of builders of the entire governance committee controls, like we're in testnet right now. They control the entire distribution of all of the tokens. And every single week they go and they do due diligence on proposals, and they do it all live stream. because we believe in radical transparency. There's no, hidden cabal deciding things. It's people that are actually community members putting in an effort to start a chain with the idea that this is the chain for the people. And that's what I've been working on. And it's one of those things where, I'm not out there to actually make any money, because I'm not. And I'm busting my ass to make this happen, because I fucking believe in blockchain. I believe in the potential of blockchain, and I'm not happy with the current situation. So rather than just complain into the ether, let's just do something about it. And it's been going really well so far.
Dude, I love it. Congrats. And I definitely have been meaning to check it out. And I will now. I actually wrote down the network address.
So can you believe, so we started our incentivized testnet a month and a half ago, right? So once again, no huge marketing spend, no everything. And we have over 400 independent nodes already running the network, which is larger than many of the top 50 chains. And this is purely from people that are just giving a shit, because they're like, yeah, there's opportunity here. There's opportunity to actually have our voice, to actually add value to something, rather than, just ride on the backs of somebody else or whatever. It's something I'm really proud of.
I love it, man. I'm definitely going to have to check that out some more. So I know we talked about it pretty extensively at Boston Blockchain when we met there.
It's so much further along. It's one of those things where so this is an entrepreneur podcast as well, right?
Yeah, totally,
Regular. So one thing that I'll tell you out there, I've started, some people would call me a serial entrepreneur. I started many companies and had many ideas. And one of the things that you will hear quite a bit is how stupid your idea is, and how worthless what you're doing is, and how you shouldn't do that. And you get that with pretty much every business that you're starting, because not everybody sees your vision. Not only that, it might be because they're not creative, and might be because you're not good at explaining it. So one of the two things. But I can't tell you how many people had told me I was an idiot for starting a new L1 this entire time. It's way more than anything else I've ever done. And if you truly believe in something, if you truly think it's actually a good idea, stick to it, because a couple of things. Number one thing I always say is that the only things worth doing in life are hard. So, it doesn't matter how hard it is. And number two, if you're truly unhappy with something, it's much better to try to fix it and fail than not try at all. So no matter how hard it is, no matter how low odds of being a success, it's more important to try, because nobody on their deathbed is going to say, man, I shouldn't have tried that. But they're sure as hell going to be saying, you know what? I wish I gave that a chance. So give it a shot. And we're not successful yet. To be very clear, we haven't crossed the finish line, but the number of times, it's one foot in front of the other, and just keep it on, and you'll get there. And you will surprise yourself of, if you aim for small successes, how far you can go.
Great advice. And it applies to all entrepreneurship, right? Exactly. I say that all the time. I don't want to be on my deathbed going, man, I paid my bills. That was exciting. It's like, no, I'm good. I'd rather struggle and figure it out and have the ups and downs and all the madness of trying to make my own dreams come true, right? Yeah. That's just the whole thing. And just little asterisks here on all this. I know you've been mentioning L1 a lot. For those of you that aren't very crypto savvy yet, L1 is a unique level 1 solution. So it's his own blockchain. It's not Bitcoin. It's not Ethereum. It's not Binance, BNB. It's his own blockchain that operates on the shared ledger technology, the same idea behind all blockchain, but theirs is their own, with their own network and their own,
Thank you.
Consensus mechanism.
I appreciate that. I sometimes gloss over, I think they call it the expert blind spot. It's I just assume everybody knows this stuff.
Yeah. No, it's okay. So, a lot of this, our audience is creatives, entrepreneurs, artists, and marketers, essentially. So all that kind of amalgamates into this. So it's on the art of business and the business of art is what we say. So
amazing.
This all fits in. So anyhow, we're coming close to time here. Okay. So before we wrap, Chris, we have one last question for you. Is there anyone or anything in your career that you like to shout out to the audience? Maybe a mentor, valuable resource, or a favorite client?
I will say that I'm going to shout out to the Voy community. Kind of tie into like what I just talked about is that the reason that we are where we are today is because of the community. If it was up to me, by myself, we would have failed. If it was up to the core team, we would have failed. The amount of work without any type of promise or guarantee or anything that the community has put in because they truly believe in something is special. And you Voyagers out there, 'cause isn't that a cute name, the Voyagers? The Voyagers out there, like shout out to you all. You are amazing for everything that you've done so far. So I would like to say that.
Awesome, man. Well, I love that you're building a community, and that really is the cornerstone of what blockchain is about, is building communities around ideas. And I think for the first time in the history of man, like we have this new technology that people are rallying around just on ideas, not on race, not on religion, not on any specific, weird nuances of their specific culture. It's just, we have this idea, we can bring it to life with blockchain in this way, and you build a community across the world with it. It's pretty amazing.
It's powerful. I mean, it's because of opportunity. It's the in control and the ownership. That's the key. Is like it's so much easier. Like one of the things I always like to talk about is, if you ask somebody what the value of a house is in a neighborhood, you'll get one answer. But then if you ask somebody that actually lives in that neighborhood, it'll go up. Because people that own things have much more much higher value than what somebody on the outside does. And when you build something that is actually decentralized, that is put together by the masses, they actually own it. They are putting the value in. They are putting their blood, sweat, and tears into it. And that's why people believe. It's it's so important.
Absolutely. All right. Well, I want to give a big thank you to Ian Kane of Cubic Labs, who coincidentally brought Chris and I together at Boston Blockchain a few months ago. So it was a great event he put on there. And it is designed for these types of collisions, for makers and people who believe in the technology to run into each other and help build each other up. So that's what we're doing here. So shout out to Ian for doing that.
Ian, you're great.
Good old Ian. All right. So we've been talking to Chris Swenor, who is the co-founder. Nailed it with a little stutter. Who is the co-founder of Voy. You can check out Chris's website at voy.network. But if and that's VOI.network. But if listeners want to
join our Discord, like our website is by design not much information, because we found that it's much better to actually talk and be part of the community than just read on a piece of paper somewhere.
Yeah, totally get that. Discord is where most of us crypto heads live anyway. So you got to get in the Discord if you really want to be a part of the scene.
Right.
And usually we advertise those on Twitter. So, or X, whatever it is. It's stupid. So stupid. Anyways. So Voy.network. But if listeners want to follow up with you directly, where should they go? And I assume that's Discord.
Twitter or Discord. I'm both places. You can follow me on Twitter for my hot takes.
Mm-hmm. What's your handle on Twitter?
I believe it's just at Chris Swenor.
Okay, awesome. And so we'll have links to that in the description below. And thanks so much, Chris. It's been so much fun chatting with you. And until next time, everybody, enjoy yourselves.
Thank you.
We really hope you enjoyed the show. Please like and subscribe to join us on our next journey through the world of art and business on the Pixel Retentive Podcast.